Good afternoon to you. Still here in the Florida Keys. I'm going to try to do a fun adventure type video, whatever you want to call it. But I'm near a 7 Mile bridge. I've got the incoming tide right here. I want to take this up inside to the bridge right now. And then I want to take the outgoing, or maybe some of that incoming, and explore around some new spots. So I'm sitting out here in 10 feet of water. Just got comfortable. I think I got a little smudge here. I think I'm going to focus on shrimp lures, jerk baits, kind of everything I've got. There's some really deep water here. We've had some cold fronts, so crossing my fingers I won't have too many shark interactions. But I do want to, I just kind of came around here and explored around for a minute. I started marking some fish, so I said, all right, let's start here. I'm going to go over to the bridge. This wind is supposed to subside towards dusk. Right now it's blowing a little bit. Man, I don't even know if you could see. There's a bunch of fish down there. Look like jacks or grunts, who knows. But what I'm trying to say is things are supposed to subside this afternoon even more, so I'll come back out here when the wind is not really, I'm able to work this right now, but it's not quite ideal. So I'm out here in 10 feet right now. I'm just casting a couple of jigs around to start. Got some shrimp lures. Got these Z-Man jerk sheds. No real intent in mind except to have a good day of fishing. We've had a lot of bad weather, so I've been, trying to do a bunch of different things that haven't come to fruition. But I have just been, I'm going to really focus on these dark patches. It seems like that always has a fish or two. You see that dark patch with a little extra current. And what I love about fishing here, man, from the kayak, there's just so much to do. You can go shallow, you can go deep, you can fish the structure, you can fish out in no man's land. You know, everything's going to have an opportunity or two, in my opinion. Yeah, that dark water always has something on it. You can't be too choosy sometimes, though. Hopefully it doesn't have a jumbo-sized shark with it. Okay. Mutton snapper. Those shallow muttons on the bridges, they're usually on the smaller side. Under 10 feet. I don't know. I'm sure there's like anything. There's keepers every now and then, wherever you can put your brain to. But that dark water is either coral, grass. It's usually something when you see dark water, whether it be oysters, in the southeast, or here in the Keys. Oh, there's something there. Yeah, maybe my second cast into that dark water. That's something nice. I hope our shark situation's not going to be bad after. Usually I could come out here after a cold front or two and I might be okay. And what is it? And that guy's going to be real close to keeper. Let's get him up here. He's probably like 16 inches. I do need some fish. In-laws are in town, so this video might get slightly disrupted by a simmer. Might slightly get disrupted by my wife's stuck at the airport. Dropped him into my lap, and I'm probably gonna have to. I don't know if he cut me open there, or I already have some cuts. Oh man, these fish can be tricky. Oh, I got him. What a mess. See you, dude. She's stuck at the airport right now. And yeah, they're kind of creepy, those mutton snappers. They have a weird kick off to them. Like, they're not the fat, they're like just very, creepy is the word I want to use. They're a fun fish though. I like them. Little ones really stack up though, so it's like after you catch one or two and you don't catch a keeper, in my opinion, it seems like you're better off moving after that. So, I'm really just drifting here, so I'm not really running right back up to that dark patch again to make a couple more casts, because I don't want to catch more shorts, right? I mean, maybe I do. But honestly, I want to keep looking around. don't know what else we can find today. After the cold fronts, probably see less jacks. Probably see more snapper. I do tend to catch more snapper after a cold front if conditions are good. At least on lures, maybe they get a little more aggressive. And what else is there? Yeah, hopefully the jacks aren't going to be bad. Jacks are what bring the sharks, in my opinion. So in this area, we got sharked twice here a week ago. So I'm going to actually, instead of going to the really focusing on any deep stuff, we're going to really focus on some shallow stuff and possibly even try some new areas. It is a holiday week now. Like you can see, there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4 boats. Well, one of them's bringing pots out of the water. But yeah, there's definitely an uptick in boats too. Yeah, not seeing, it's hard, you know, one angle you might not see that any kind of like structure or something, you know, giving you an extra visual cue. Like only this direction I could see sometimes. There's a dark little blob there. But if it lays down as forecasted, it might not, you never know. But if it does lay down as forecasted, we can poke back out here and really give a nice comb through. I came out here last year. I had some fantastic fishing just cruising around these, you know, these 10-foot flats, just casting at anything that looked pretty good. And I would love to duplicate that today. That's really what I want to end up doing. Like I had keeper muttons, some nice big yellowtail for inshore, 15, 16-inch yellowtail snapper. It was a really good time, so. There's a little dark patch there too. Yeah, those dark patches are always a good time. It could be grouper and you screw up. I don't know if it's structure. So, but I'm pumped, man. Maybe you can tell it in my voice. I think we're gonna have a really good day of fishing today. I'm more excited to have weather that's not gonna beat me up. That's the other thing. Could be grunts too, right? Grunt is the other fish. Something pretty small there. I think the shallower we're going, the smaller these muttons might get, so. What we'll do is, towards the afternoon, later in the afternoon rather, when the wind gets milder, I'll come out here further and go into that like 10 to 20 foot stuff. Really focus on it right now. I also do want that tide to come, that rising tide, because I think that'll get that water into that more bluish water. This is the start of the incoming tide, so it's like this clear green. I typically do better on the muttons when that water gets more of that blue, but you never know. All right. We're just taking a nice lazy river drift down to the bridge. Fish some shallow spans on the bridge. Avoid the BS, the bullshit. They might be gone though, man. I've had days where I don't get sharked once, especially after a cold front or two. But I'm always suspicious that odds are against you. I'm about 50-50 on sharkings on bridges. Some days I don't see any, which is like, but the days that you see them, it kind of rattles you and puts you on caution always. So, which is probably a good thing, honestly. Don't want to get too comfortable. So wind's coming out of the north. It's supposed to flop out. It's been a great couple of weeks in the Keys, though. Got a couple of mutton snappers. I think I'm on 5 keepers this trip so far, and I've been fishing for 2 weeks. So any day I've been getting the weather to do something. I only had one strikeout completely on a day of nice weather with those muttons, so it's been yeah, it's been pretty decent. One day I got 2, 2 days I got 2, one day I got 1, and I haven't gotten a keeper black grouper this year. It's been actually a few years since I've gotten a keeper black grouper. I got a couple Goliaths. That seems to be, as I've probably said it before, a new thing for me. Don't like those guys that much. I like Goliath. Yeah, we're just drifting here. It's like a patch of some darker stuff. Let's get a little closer to this deep water. Well, we can clench up if we see something. I feel like you got to learn once for the day if it's going to happen. And it might as well get it out of the way real early in the trip, right? If the bull shark's around, maybe I shouldn't tiptoe. Like, let me give it find out in the first 10-15 minutes of fishing, then to say, okay, there's a shark here, let's now you know to tiptoe. You don't have to tiptoe around getting sharked. Right? That's kind of how I feel about it right now. Yeah, this holiday week, it's really picked up. I mean, I wish I had a better view of the bridge on the last couple videos. Like, there's like a car going by every, like so much space in between cars. Now it's been real busy. A lot of shiny boats showed up. It was really cool here early December. I really love the Keys in early December. But as you get into the next few months, it's like, I don't know what it's like mid-January if it kind of backs out again. It's really a holiday thing. But my in-laws are in town for the holidays, and yeah, definitely when we try to go out to eat this week, it's going to be, I relax. I have like my really amazing time when I get here. I feel like I'm always in a really good mood when I get down here because it's always pretty chill. But then later, yeah, it definitely picks up with people. It's like Muttons. The 4-inch jerk shed does good work on them, I think. Well, we got 1, 2, 3 boats. Yeah, we're gonna go fish some shallow pilings, I think. There's like some sandbars and some stuff, and you never know what could be there. Even though there's a lot of boats, this week, there's still so much I can piece together and learn. I think these are the jacks. Bites were different, and I kind of want to get away from jacks as soon as we get into them, because at least, unless they're really shallow. That's another mutton. Man, there's a lot of these little muttons around. Not really holding to them. I'm just kind of drifting. So. Give them that quick toss, because I'm not trying to be barbaric. That fish is fine. I've had somebody gave me grief the other day because they're like, "Oh, you're throwing the fish hard." It's like, if I don't give them that toss, they're gonna probably flop. It's not like I can place them gently. That thing's got, there's a live bait boat out here. Wow, that's kind of cool. Unless maybe that's just, he has that on there all the time. No kayaks today, man. It's interesting. I don't see too many kayaks, really fishing around here. I mean, every now and then I will see a few more. For the most part, I don't see too many kayaks. Not this year. That edge is loaded with little muttons today. Still, it's good. You learn what's proper fish habitat, even if it's not keeper. Yeah. It does teach me that, at least. What is proper fish habitat for the Florida Keys? I'm sure there's mangroves and possibly yellowtail there too. Even these little muttons, I mean, they don't pull much drag, but that pond hook set, they're pretty mean. They are mean, a pond hook set. All right, let's go check out the bridge pilings then. We're already there. They're tough fish, though, overall. Still white capping a little bit on the Gulf side from here. I'm like looking at the conditions, so this should get nicer as the day goes on. So I kind of want to bounce around. We'll see what happens. Jerk shad didn't get bit. I cast it a little shallower there. That's probably like a 5-6 foot flat. Oh, we did get some grass immediately though. So, you know, I did a little bait fishing this week too. Had some Goliaths, some sharks. Really, I consider the lure fishing is like this is kind of enjoyable. I feel like I guess you got to kind of defend yourself. Like, yeah, it's simple because I'm in a kayak, right? Look how much shit I have on here. I've got like a cooler back there. Add a bait bucket and a live well. And the other thing is too, you need a lot of bait. It's not like 5 pieces of bait are really going to go very far in the Keys. You know what I'm saying? I want to have as much bait as possible. Like, these boats have hundreds of pilchards and sardines and all that stuff. Having 2-3 baits, it's not worth the work. But if we do catch any needlefish today, those are those long fish with the, like pointy noses about that big. What I want to do is, oh gosh, what did I do here? Good. I want to keep those in the cooler, and we got some really windy days coming this week. Those I do want to chunk. But that being said, we didn't get any bites there. Let's run up on the bridge and cast into the tubes a little bit. Here, we're probably looking for like 6 feet of water, 7 feet of water. That's good enough. Pretty day. So one of the things I noticed, I did a video. I think a lot of people who are watching this are pretty consistent watchers, so I'm not going to reference too much about what video and what. I did a video where it got real cloudy on me, and like it shut down so fast. So I don't know. The Keys fish, I don't know if all of them have those preferences, but they're kind of particular to certain conditions. I don't know. It was just something I noticed. Oh, it's really shallow here. I was like, oh, I want to go fish shallow. I didn't realize I got this shallow just now. Holiday week fleet is out here. Just do it like we did with the little bridge, right? Cast into the tube and keep our distance and cross our fingers. It's going to be something in there. I don't have any metal lures with me. They're coming this week, so did those slow pitch jigs. I'm all out of those things for a little while now, but these Z-Man streaks should do it. I hope. Yeah, wind is still pumping a little bit. Ooh, there you go. Oh, I missed it. Water's pretty clear. I'm hoping this afternoon works out as predicted. Uh-oh. What happened there? Oh man, I was futzing around. Got him out? It's, I think that's called a Graysby group or a rock hind. I don't know if they get... I think offshore in North Carolina, I've seen some monsters. 20 inches plus. I think that's the one I'm thinking it is. But I don't know if you can catch some 12 inchers around here. That'd be kind of cool. Gotta get our power assist going again. In general, I like to just make 1 or 2 casts into each tube and see what happens. Oh man, I spooked so many mangrove snappers right now. I don't know if I spooked them, but they came from this direction. I think they were on the piling. I think those were mangroves. They could have been yellow jacks. All right. Oh, there's a bite. Somebody wanted to come. Who is it? What is it? Oh, nice mangrove. Yeah. Look at that one. Oh gosh, I gotta put that rod in the holder there. All right. Sorry, I got this rod back here, smacked the bridge. Didn't break anything, thankfully. Okay. Let's keep it goober, man. That fish is coming home. Hang tight. Let me get this other lens, this thing. I want to show you our catch of the day. My buddy Justin's been doing a great job with the shark stuff out here when he was here. Okay. Come on. Pretty bad at this, huh? There we go. Okay, that's a mangrove. It's probably about 12, 13 inches. Pinch, I guess his gills can pinch you a little bit. He's coming home for dinner. We need a couple fish today, so you'll have 5 of those a day. I think it's 5. Maybe it's 10, but I'm pretty sure it's 5. But yeah. Thanks, dude. Going uncut today, man. I'm glad people are liking this format out of me. It's a big relief for me because I'm still more or less fishing the same. You know, it'd be hard to make this kind of video in an area where we're just going to get a couple bites for the day. Yeah, he's about 14 and a half, just under 15. So yeah, I do want to try to get better at doing the ocean ones like this because I think the bridges, it's well known there's a lot of action out here. But if we're gonna do, I need to fill in the gaps better in my talking. Sometimes I think I get too concentrated. Let me show that camera the other way. The bleeding out part, I don't know why. I'm kind of nervous that somebody's gonna complain I'm bleeding fish out. I'm keeping it unedited, but yeah. You know, all those things I'm kind of, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, doing the ocean thing. I think I start getting too concentrated in the actual fishing, so I can't keep that monologue going necessarily. For some reason I seem to have a better time. I don't know. Maybe it's the higher frequency of bites here. It's hard to say. Let's get that thing out of the way. And honestly, I don't know. I feel like I'm naturally just having a really good time. Maybe that comes out on camera. I mean, I have a good time on the ocean too, but yeah, like I said, I think I have to concentrate a lot. So doing an unedited video like that is different. But I appreciate everyone liking these. I like making them now because, yeah, it's just easier on me. I don't think I can be a high production YouTuber and enjoy it. I kind of mock the idea. I was talking to my buddy Abram about these longer videos too. I almost feel like it's a backlash to the overproduced content YouTube is now. Like, YouTube for a while was just, now it's like everything needs to be like basically copying an old school TV show. And I think a lot of people are like, oh man, it's freaking, I almost dropped the F-bombs. I'm sorry if I do them. But it's almost like it's fake crap. And I hated making it too when it was recently. This seems to have given me a little bit more new life, I guess. I don't know how you want to put it. But I love that. that freaking throwing a jerk shad at the bridge is so much fun. What is it? It's a grouper, isn't it? Oh man, mangrove mountain out here today. That one. Oh. Okay. I think it's a 10 snapper aggregate limit. So these are sweet, man. Oh, I'm so into it this year. I feel like I finally can catch decent sized snappers on lures this year with some regularity. I don't know why. What I changed? I think I'm more comfortable fishing closer to structure than I think I used to. I don't know. This year that's been a big change for me. Okay. Let's get organized here. Heck yeah. Thank you. These fish they're awesome. I wish North Carolina had a panfish that was really easily targetable. I mean, they used to. Croaker, right? Damn, he's almost 16. It's a nice one, man. Getting pumped by these fish. Somebody told me, 22, 23 is a big one for a bridge. So I guess these are average, these 16s. I don't know. I'm enjoying them. So we'll keep all 5 today because, in-laws, family, like it got busy where I'm staying. Before it was just me. Now we're definitely keeping fish now. So, oof, man. All right. Here's a shot of the bridge while I go bleed them out. Woohoo! Pumped, man. I'm pumped. Whether it's a white perch, big old scup, a sheep's head, something about catching big panfish really gets me pumped. Crappies, all that stuff. I love it. I like catching big fish too, but there's a certain joy about throwing a light jig head with a light rod, and knowing it's a decent sized fish. There's a certain joy to that. Okay. You typically do move on. After you catch 1 or 2 though, like I don't think I'll get too many more out of these holes. Like, you never know. I bet you there's gaps under the bridges, right? And like they're hiding under there, and then you throw a lure at them, they'll come out and smack it. But after that, there's probably, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a dozen snappers that size living under there, but they get wisen up real quickly, rather. So that's it. Like, we got some small, they look like look downs or small jack crevalles there. Gotta turn that power assist on because sometimes I might get sucked into these tubes. I need something quick. I don't expect every single one to have a giant on that, but I might have hit the right part of the tide just now. What is that? Yeah, yellow jack. These fish are great, man. Come down to the Keys and you're not sure you need some fish for the table. These guys are awesome for a poke bowl or ceviche. Maybe towards the end of the trip, we'll see how we're going on. I found they were just okay cooked, but bring your kids, bring your family. Man, that's a great fun fish to target. Abundant. Let's see what we got going on here. Got a rod tip that's fouled up there. Okay. What is it? It's still early. It's only 11:53, so. Yeah, I didn't expect every single span to have a mangrove that size on it. Ooh, I think I saw a grouper just follow this guy. And sorry, you can tell. It looked like it was a small black grouper or something like that. Yeah, I want to get that bait to kind of fall right along the lip there of the bridge. And then just kind of work it right on the edge where you're not going to snag up. But, you know, you're getting in the zone of all those fish that are down there. I think that was a black grouper I saw. Oh, I had a bite there. I wonder if there's any cuberas on these. There probably is a few cuberas. They're probably really hard to get to bite. I think this jerk shad's on its last legs already, though. Okay. These are made by Z-Man. They're pretty good, but I kind of beat them up already. Let's see what else we can throw. Oh, we got some shrimps, yeah. Let's see. It's the Easy Shrimp Greasy Prawn. It's a cool color name. These are hard to rig on non-Z-Man jig heads, though. These, the shrimps. Oh man, I hate it when that collar starts sliding down. Let's see if I'm going to even be able to rig it. I find Z-Man's, this material is easy to rig at home, but if you got to like show up with it pre-rigged, rig it on the water when your hands are wet. Like, look at mine; it's all crooked and not even. Yeah, it does get more difficult, especially with wet hands. Hope there's not any debris under this piling that I don't know about. Getting a couple bites under there. I feel like you're going to catch the mangroves really close to this structure, and if I let my bait drift further back, that's where I'm going to... I had a bite there. If I let that bait drift further back, that's where I'm going to get the jack. Let's see if I can navigate through here properly. So what I'll do, I did see something follow my jigging. I'm going to work my way down to one of these last columns probably. Gotta watch out for that. I don't know how deep down, that probably extends down to the bottom, that railing. Yeah. What I'll do is I'll work down to the last column, then I'll work back up to the first column that I started at. And then I think after that we'll try to see how the wind, works out here. If it keeps white capping, that's just, not a good thing, but if it stops, I want to get back into that channel and explore out there, because that's where I'm going to learn a lot. And that to me is part of the equation, right? Throwing lures at bridge pilings, yeah, it's definitely a mastery to that too, like anything. But seeing that stuff out there is going to be big too. Did catch a snook the other day. That's not a snook. What is that? Is that one of those yellow jacket things? Oh my gosh, I have a bunch of... Oh, it's a blue runner. Not a blue runner, a barjack. And I got him on the side. Well, at least this bridge the clearance ain't too bad. Only thing that happens is you hook one of these fish, and then you decide you're going to float through it. I think you're usually done, right? But you never know. Maybe somebody's going to be still hungry. 7 feet and trying to jig them is really hard. But I've seen crazier things happen. These fish probably get a lot of pressure in general. I don't know how much pressure, but they probably do get a little bit. Maybe I could fool one in the back of this piling here somewhere. shallows up pretty quick as you get out of there. Yeah, these are jacks. Like I think what I was thinking might be correct. That you get, as soon as you get away from that bridge span in that regard, and you fish out in the open stuff, you're gonna find these jacks more. So depends what flavor you're going for, right? Those jacks are gonna sit in the current, and the snappers and the groupers on the structure itself. I think. Could be wrong. Oh wow, it's pretty nasty out there. It's hard to tell. These flats have those needlefish, and as I said, I do want to do some chunking, but heck, we're gonna stick with the shrimps and all the other stuff. See, that guy twisted that up. Yeah. Yeah, me, I think that's it, right? I'm just like a kid who loves fishing out here. I get that magic back when I come back. Like I don't know. I think I discussed it before. North Carolina closed their flounder season, and you go fishing it anywhere like 3-4 months of the year, you're gonna have so much flounder interaction that it's so discouraging to even like do the stuff like this. And this type of fishing is my favorite. Just throwing a lure at a bridge or a dock or whatever it is in a channel, and then it's like I'm just injuring fish that are overfished and threatened. I might gut hook one. Oh man, it's just a bad look too, especially I'm out here trying to make a living, right? So anyway, let's keep it focused on throwing at these bridges. That mutton snapper we got to bring to, I don't know if we're bringing it to Lazy Days tonight, or I'm cooking it. I might be cooking it. I just kept it really well iced. I caught it on Friday. Today's Sunday, so it's gonna make it. It is. I just don't. When it's not, you're not operating out of your home base, especially for like culinary stuff. But I had a big cooler in the car, like that big white bag you've seen in the king mackerel videos. I had that in the car, so I was able to put that in, and I've just been putting a fresh bag of ice in it. I gutted it. I asked Will, cooking with clams, like, hey, I need to keep this really fresh for the next couple days, and he said, just keep it on ice, gutted, and it made sense. For some reason, I'm just so used to filleting fish the day I catch them, or a couple days later. Never a couple days later, rather. I'm so used to, oh man. Yeah, I'm so used to filleting fish the day I catch them, and then eating them a day or two later. So the thought of having it ready to go 2 days later was like very, very bizarre to me, I guess. But yeah, I made do. I made do with that. Well, no, is it me or is the shrimp not getting as many bites as the jerk shad did? Or maybe I hit a set of pilings that didn't have any snappers on them. I think the shrimp should still get a lot of bites. This current here is pretty mild though. I don't know if the wind picked back up. It feels like it might have. Having these bridge columns to block the window. And if this bridge was configured differently, it'd be so rough here all the time. The fact that you just get like a little bit of that wind blocking the... I gotta re-rig this thing. Z-Man, this material's not perfect. There we go. Put some scent on it too. Z-Man's collars for these definitely hold them the best, but they do still twist and get twisted like my line right here. Okay. So I gotta tell you all the things I broke on this this trip. Broke a rudder, broke one rod tip, broke one rod. What else did we break? There's definitely other things I can't think of that have been breaking in the last. Keys is definitely, it's like rough on tackle. I'm like spraying everything with contact cleaner like pretty much every day. Like I've been super busy with that stuff. Because corrosion on these plugs, corrosion on this microphone. Oh yeah, this microphone, I hope it doesn't Frankenstein on this trip and do something weird. But this microphone was powering on in the middle of the night. I just was like sleeping and I saw like a green light flashing out of it. I was like, oh my gosh, we've got problems. We've got problems out here today. And yeah, everything's been, but you notice it's that high salinity out here. It's tough on gear. You know, look at my attitude when I come down here is everything kind of becomes, I wouldn't say totally disposable, but a little bit more disposable overall. Like this camera, I'm surprised the camera hasn't crapped out. I'm surprised that fish finder's held on. I'm surprised everything's holding on. I'm surprised this thing didn't leave me stranded out here once by now. Alright. I guess every single one of these tubes can't have a 14 or 15 inch mangrove snapper for dinner. I think that'd be too easy. Because, what else did I see recently? I did see a cobia coming in the other day. So I've got another video. I was fishing Bahia Honda. And I hooked a cobia. And within 5 seconds of my cobia hookup, the cobia bit right under my kayak. 5 seconds of the hookup, a bull shark turned on him. I opened the bail. I'll probably put that out eventually. And thankfully got away. But the shark situation's real on some of these bridges. But it seems like when it's pretty shallow, it's not as bad. Right here, what is it, 6 feet? Don't bump into, seems to see them as often. What's funny is, I really don't get sharked on the ocean side here. I'm sure they are there, but you know what I'm saying? Like I just don't end up bumping into them, honestly. A few bites there, but nothing happened there. I hope it's not the shrimp. I don't think it's the shrimp lure. I think it's every spot's different. One tube's got mangroves and the other one doesn't. Come on. I got those squid Trexes the other day at Bass Pro Shop. Gonna try those. Those are like, I guess, the new viral lure. I've never actually tried them. I think the price kept me away, but I was like, you know what? People are liking these videos, and the bridges are consistent fishing. So let me try to do that squid Trex thing out here. I think that might be an interesting one because I've done these. Granted, I'm fishing a different area today, right? But I've done these bridge fishing videos. Did one with gulp shrimps, which I thought really overperformed. Granted, I did have conditions that might have warranted such an overperformance, like a front coming through, but yeah, I thought they did really well. Missed them. Getting bites still. Seem to be missing these ones though. Getting sucked in. See them. Anybody in there? Nope. Some small jacks. Saw that. Oh no. Thought that was gonna work. Yikes. I'm more worried about my rods in the kayak. Don't worry about me in the kayak. Breaking some rods is not something I want to do here. Alright, we're good. For some reason it's hard to tell how tall these clearances are, especially after a week of those little bridges. Those had really tight clearances. These seem to be a little bit better. Oh, this side's really shallow. It's crazy. So up there it's probably like 7 feet. Back here it's 2-3 feet pretty much instantly. Maybe I should try to fish down current though. Yeah. I don't think there's a magic formula. Like some guys always say, oh, you got to fish down current. You got to fish both. That's my take on it. Like, don't, fish down current, fish up current. Because, you see, down current, for example, my presentation was too fast. Like, I didn't get to have a minute down there. Like, while you're working your jig away from on the other side, you're kind of really giving it a longer time in the strike zone. So I don't know, there's different theories on it. I feel like working up current's good, and then work down current too. I didn't get a bite there. We worked down current just now. Didn't hammer the rudder hard enough there. Between that wind and weak hands on the rudder, didn't get back over. It's where the it was like perfect. I like a lot of my stuff earlier was working real well. The other thing is you don't want to slow down when you're going through those things. You just want to full speed ahead. There we go. First time I stopped a little too short, I think. All right, now I know I don't want to get sucked in. It's a huge time suck. Wonderful cast there. I mean, that was a wonderful cast for being so terribly prepared and sloppy. Is that Fred the Tree? Heard that name before. On the charts, I see it. It says Fred the Tree. I think that's got to be Fred the Tree. It's got to be. It's getting rough. It's a little rough around that side. I'm seeing it now. My presentations are sucking right now. Current seems to be a little stronger here, so. Not catching any snappers where it's rolling really hard, man. They're in that kind of that calmer water. These sets of the bridge span are definitely a bit rougher, and I haven't caught a thing here yet. Sure they're there, but I'm thinking just not getting that lure where I need to as quickly as I want. They all look kind of rough in that regard. Tough to say. Oh, it looks like it gets really shallow up on these ones here. I think we're going to turn back around. It seems like, oh, I got one finally. Oh, I missed him. Fishing behind myself here. It's a little harder. All right, let's complete the journey. All right, we said we're gonna keep going. There's gonna be one more drop off somewhere here. Yeah, I think over there I had a shoal that helped break up a lot of the. I think these pipes also got wider. These openings might have gotten wider. I sure feel like they did. I mean, that current should help with some. There should be some fish there, even in that current. I see a lot more structure though, man. All right. We haven't had a bite in like 3-4 of these things, and getting pulled in pretty hard. Yeah, all right, let's make a move back because we're getting sucked into these things hard, and that's a boats game, man. Just gotta know it. Admit it. Yeah, I think that's a little too quick for me. Uh-oh, whoa, uh-oh. Hard to take your hand off the rudder, right? Whoa. Beautiful day out here, though. It seemed like around this telephone pole is where those bites stop, though. Let's see how we do on this angle, if we can get a good cast or two. So before it's coming up from this angle, now I'm down this angle. Fast, man. Oof, that bait's gone. That was gone. One side is like, that bait just disappeared there. Okay. I don't know if it's, now I'm starting to feel like it might be the shrimp. But the straight tail, I can't be. Shrimp, straight tail, I don't know. I feel like a thin profile, I don't know, now I'm worried. Gonna be making no sense for the next 10 minutes probably. I think I have to do with that shoal kind of slowing down the current a little bit. At least to let me get a lure in there, right? I think that's what it is too. It's not that the fish aren't in those other spots. I did see a couple fish. I think it's just the ability to keep my jig in a zone. See, like now I'm starting to do a little better here. But the middle's definitely jacklands. We don't want nothing to do with that. Oh, actually, I think the bites were kind of stopping around that fallen railing right now. So we'll make a couple quick casts under all of them. We haven't fished this side of them, so you never know. Yeah, see? That's why I guess you never know. Gotta keep that in your back of your head always. Oh man. What is that? Jack, isn't it? See silver flashing. Yellow jack. I see something else following them into. Uh-oh. Thought I was going to be quick enough there. So OCD when it comes to rigging these lures too. Like if they're not looking like that, are we still clear? Yeah, if they don't look like this, see how the hook comes out right in the middle, the tail's not bent, if my proportions aren't even with my Seamans, my head explodes. Most of my soft plastics, I'm such a stick. When I used to guide years back, oh man, I must have been such frustrating. Like I remember when somebody would rig up a plastic and I wasn't there, and it had like a bend or was a little bit crooked. I used to be like, no, it's rigged wrong. It has to be perfectly straight. And then, yeah, that's not necessarily true, but those are some of my fishing OCDs. I don't have too many, but having lures perfectly rigged is one of mine. Do I have a fray in that line there? I can't tell. Maybe I'm hoping it's a fuzzy or grass or something like that. Just a random fuzzy. Ooh, you see that? Just snuck up there. All right, let's I don't want that one. That one looks like it's going to be a problem. All right. You know, these things you don't know where they come from sometimes. That looks like it's a bad one. You're fishing around a bridge, you gotta expect it. Okay, that's where we hit that cruise control feature. All right, this way we don't lose ground. I don't want to go back behind the bridge necessarily. Bring up our shrimp. It's one of those things you fish around structure, you don't know. You know. You just got to deal with it and assume it comes with the territory. Yeah, you never know. That could be the cost of a good fish. Just something like that there. It might hold up. You know, these braided lines are stronger than you'd think, but pretty sure I didn't see that earlier. Maybe I did. Maybe it was there earlier. Got a massive mess with my rudder there. Okay. My Guggen swivels. I'm all about those things. Okay. Trying my best with my tag ends. You can swivel, and yeah. Okay. So I don't want to see for a while. So gonna have to check my phone once because my wife's at the airport, I believe. She should be able to get an Uber. She's getting into Fort Lauderdale. I mean, it's been a mess for her today, so I do need to check to see if I have to pick her up, I have to pick her up. You know, it's kind of one of these things. So I'm going to check my phone in a little bit. I haven't been on it for a minute, but hopefully I won't have to. But she knows I'm doing a fishing video. So, but deal with stuff like flight cancellations and holiday weekends craziness. You just never know what might happen there. Just like me right now. I have no idea what I'm doing. Getting all twisted and turned up. Got it. So I just find I tie, stuff way faster with a swivel. That's really the main reason I like them. Not like, I find there's any superiority. It just gives me more fishing time. So, to me, that's kind of important. Tying a splice knot does take me longer. If I break off, and I usually do end up breaking off 20-pound leader over 15-pound braid, for example, I just retie. I do stretch a leader. And if you do that 4 or 5 times a day, you're going to have a lot more time with a freaking lure in the water, right? Like it or not. That's my logic. And to me, that's important sometimes. Who's that? Who's that? It's Jack, probably. Oh, man. I don't want to get sucked in, man. Oh, that guy, yeah. Fast. Fast fish. I'd never caught. I would love to catch just one really big one of those. I bet they look really cool. So most of the ones on the bridges are like 3 to 5 pounds, right? Even smaller, like 1 to 2 pounds as well. Like, I don't think on the bridges, maybe a certain time of year, you can catch some 15 to 20 pounders, but that would be a really cool fish to catch. I still have not caught a large Jack Crevalle in the Keys. I know they're on these bridges too, like some 15, 20 pounders. Usually my Keys Jacks are like, 7, 8 pounds. As the bigger size, rather. The Crevalles. I've gotten 1 or 2 nice snook here. I haven't caught a red drum here in a few years, but red drum, that's like, the minute I bring that up, it's a snooze fest for a lot of people, I know. But they're always an accessible fish, so and they get their moments where they are challenging, so I do like them. I've never caught a speckled trout in the Keys. I know there's some areas, at least somewhere here, there's a few areas that I bet have a couple, but I'm not that interested in speckled trout here. Not what I come here for. I like the barracudas. I think those are super underrated. Tarpon, I've gotten a couple. Hooked a couple big ones that I definitely have not been able to turn. What's the other fish? No permit yet. I know those permit are tough. Oops, there we go. Snapper. Is it? Jacks. Yellow jacks again. This thing's freaking full, man. Primo shark bait. I don't know why that guy was bleeding. I had him hooked in the lip, but who knows. How are we doing on that lens? That's pretty clear. Give it a quick wipe down with a dirty sleeve. I hope to not make it worse. I hope. These new DJI cameras are pretty nice, though. I've been pretty happy with what I'm seeing out of them so far. Okay. That snag there. Don't see it in the water. When I came from the other angle, I couldn't tell. I think it's kind of done right about there, so let's play with fire. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing it in the water down here. Yeah, now I'm seeing it a little bit. Wind forecast might have been a little off for today. Actually, it feels like it's not really changing much yet. Yeah, see that boat went where that current was hard. It's crazy that these jacks are in like the structure like that too sometimes. 'Cause, yeah, that's a lot of structure right there. Yeah, we haven't caught a mangrove snapper since switching to the shrimp, though. You notice that? I'm catching the yellow jacks only, huh? I hope that's not going to be the trend for the rest of the day. They gotta eat that shrimp. Refuse to believe I can't catch. I was catching mangroves on the gulp shrimps and all these other lures for the last few days. They gotta eat it. What I'm throwing now. Right there. Pulled in a school of something with that cast. That's the other thing that's kind of hard about fishing these bridges. Like, if you're using lures, you catch the fish and then you bring all these other fish with it. And then they don't really reset because, you know, you threw them off a little bit. It's definitely another jack here. Yeah. Trying to think if I can't get out there and explore everything that sat out in my mind I wanted to. Now what are we going to do instead? I think I'll be able to some degree. Too many of these jacks in these spans here. I feel like maybe more showing up with the tide. It's possible. I see a lot of types of fish down there though. Too busy paying attention to the types of fish and not what I should be doing here. Is that a mangrove? No, it's another freaking jack. I wonder why the jacks like these shrimp lures so much more than what I was throwing earlier. We've got a drone. Is that a drone over me? Yeah. It don't look like the drone I'm seeing on the news though. You could see that. One of these guys filming their own YouTube video. Could be goobers together. Googans with GoPros. Oh, that'll be a fun Facebook meme page. Honoring all the GoPro Googans out there. Maybe you could get one of these fish getting bull sharked on camera. Can't get through these fish in these spots here. That's right. Well, hopefully you got some good shots of me catching fish. Thanks, man. Me, I don't want to fly a drone. I want to copy and paste 5 clips into Final Cut Pro. Drink a cup of coffee and move on from there. You know? What has changed here, folks? That I've brought in so many more of these guys. Now, I'm fishing the structure. It's not like I'm not getting down into those structure zones like I'm trying to. Shrimp. I'm gonna blame it on the shrimp until I get another nice one. Maybe it's the current picking up. Those mangroves are. I'm just having a hard time getting that presentation now to get a couple more of them. Because that was like my first 3 casts. I had those mangroves when I pulled up on the bridge, and now I haven't had even a short one. What has it been? 20-30 minutes probably. I don't even know if I have any more of those 4-inch streaks. Something similar probably, but all I know is, yeah, stay out of the real part of it. Oh man, I saw a bunch of those things following that shrimp in. Maybe they're really only on one part of that bridge. Like, that could be the last final important detail. Like the current's hitting this corner faster, I think, and that, I don't know. To the point, I don't know anymore these days, kids. Yeah, definitely upticked in jacks. Jacks like current. I feel like there's more yellow jacks here today than there was the last time I came out here. Last time I came out here, I feel like I caught a few, but it feels like there's more today. Hopefully those bull sharks are by those boats. I'm hoping. I'm getting slightly concerned the quantity of yellow jacks that I've been catching. He's coming. He's coming to shark me. Pretty cool watching them follow each other in that. I don't know how far north those yellow jacks are. Do you guys in like Central Florida have them inshore? Or are they really just a Keys thing? Because I really don't like, I don't spend too much time on Facebook, but I don't really recall seeing too much about jacks in other parts of Florida, really. These things just got worse in numbers, huh? Oh, come on. Yeah, you can catch all you want. And those mangroves might have moved to the back sides of these pilings. Let me try this backside right here. Got a little bit of that sandbar breaking up the waves on this area, so let's make one pitch. Yeah, those mangroves can move a lot too based on current. That's right there. Oh my God, I see like 100 jacks under me here. I mean, it is, yeah. Seems like there's no shortage of them there. Yeah. There's definitely a shark nearby with all those jacks. Oh, that's the cool one, man. It's the bar jack. It seems to be less common than the yellow jacks. Got like a big bright blue. I don't know how well that comes out on camera, but kind of cool. I don't know if they get rainbow runners inshore here. I doubt it, but you never know. So I guess the bar jacks want to hang behind the pilings. What you find pretty often behind the pilings is look downs. And those are great eating fish. But yeah, if you want to catch something that's out of the current, those look downs are pretty common. Like these were the pilings I caught a couple of those mangroves on earlier. So I have reason to be concerned here, my friends. Oh. What is that? Whoa! Whoa! Dude! Dude! I can't say it. Dude! mega mangrove on that Z-Man shrimp. Yo, by far the biggest one I've ever caught on, even on bait, I think. Whoa. It's big enough for a lip gripper, like a big boy. Yo. Almost caught me there. God, open up. Doesn't want to open his freaking mouth up for me though. I don't want to get bit by him, but I just want to get this lip gripper on him. Just keeps, every time I get the lip gripper in him, he keeps clamping shut on me. Here we go. Oh man, that's so cool. Oh, we're eating good next couple days. Oh, 7-mile mangrove monster. Guggen has struck Guggen gold. Oh, he's over 18 inches, man. Oh man, what a nerd. That's so cool. Hang on, sorry. The little specks get on there. 18-inch mangrove snapper. Losing confidence in the Z-Man shrimp there. Check that out. That's the biggest I've ever gotten to eat a lure. Fun. Fun. It's 3. Thing about being on a kayak, it gets a little squirrely back there. All right. I gotta check my phone quick, see if my wife needs me for anything here. Nope, all good. All right. Fish the back, fish the front. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Fish both. I'm a firm believer of efficiency on the water though. Definitely am. Tomorrow we're going to take the day off. Wife comes in. Just chill. Definitely gonna just chill, sit back and relax. I think we got some east wind coming. And yeah. Great fishing, great. Couldn't be happier with how this is going. And no sharks yet. Just nervous about getting chased off by one of those things, especially where there's a lot of jacks. Repeat myself because I've traumatized myself at this point. That's the jack, finally. I ate my words earlier. Wow, that guy's a jack. Still on the same Z-Man shrimp. All right, yeah, still am. This is a Vanford 2500. My Fuegos are, I think my Fuegos might be done, man. They were performing really well up until the Keys, but the Keys is just that brutal. We'll see if this Vanford performs through the. I've killed one Vanford in North Carolina, but maybe this Vanford's gonna make it for a little longer. Those, I got 2 of those Daiwa Surtates back there. Those are very expensive reels. The 3000, the line roller bearing shot, and then on top of it, the screw. The minute I tried to take a turn on the, man, it freaking absolutely, I don't know what that was. There's a fish on there, and he knew how to give me trouble. Oh, I think I picked him up on the side. There was a scale on the hook. But yeah, that Vanford, not the Vanford, the Surtates, or one of them's it's going to be a noisy reel till the end of time probably, unless somebody really wants to work on it for me. But I do like them, but having that shot line roller, I got to figure out how to extract that. It's like a tiny little screw. Boy, am I pumped to catch a mangrove of that caliber. This jig head's all jacked up now though. Hitting it up with some Procure, but I don't think we put Procure on for a while. But you hook one, you got to move on pretty much immediately, right? I think I'm getting bites from a few more here, but I wonder how often the mangroves move from piling to piling, though. I don't think they're really a whole fish. Maybe they are. Like that's my hole. But what I think is there's probably another half dozen big ones on those pilings right there, but they're so smart. Like I caught one, you can't catch another. Maybe you can eventually, but like you're better off just moving on, especially with lures, like how I'm fishing. Right now, that jig head's all jacked up that you get one bite, it just slides right down the collar. 3 mangroves. Five is the limit, I'm pretty sure. We'll keep 5 if I get them, especially because I'm going to stay home tomorrow. I think I will at least. Or if I fish, it's going to be a very casual trip. I'm not going to drive anywhere. So right now, this is Marathon that I've been staying at. Isla Mirada's coming up. I like fishing the big structures out here, though. They are cool. I don't like the fact I'm sliding down as much, though. I feel like get my hands wet there. Yeah, I feel like there's no way you can catch one just sitting like this up and down. I feel like a grouper would hit that. I feel like these snapper are too smart. They want that just on the edge of the current so it looks as natural as possible for those guys, because smart fish, they really are. Especially this place, right? I'm guessing that, there's 3-4 charter boats fishing here, today. Pressure's decent amount, right? I don't know if I wouldn't say it's insane, but it definitely gets pressure. especially for like casual anglers that don't care what they catch. You know, a couple fish for dinner. They probably want to come out here and enjoy the bridge, see a giant shark. It's a very appealing spot to be to fish. If even me, right? I love fishing here. But like, I can imagine if you're a tourist, or like where somebody doesn't saltwater fish much, this is like creme de la creme of sightseeing, right? You're gonna see a bull shark, you'll see a sea turtle, you'll see a dolphin, and you'll see it all here. Okay, what do we do here? So it's this collar is sliding down a lot now. Maybe that'll fix it. Might have to retire that jig head. Yeah, we'll see. Let's give it a couple more casts. Oh, we're back out here in Jackland, I think, immediately. Yeah, so I think that fish screwed this up, so let's see. Let me take this off. So if it slides down the collar, I think I need to just retire this jig head. You know what? We'll take the Z-Man off for a minute. And since I don't want to necessarily retie, let's see what else we got that'll probably hold on pretty well. Zoom fluke? Yeah, let's use a zoom. That's what I'm thinking, is because that's just sliding down. I think the zoom should hold pretty tight. Maybe I'm wrong too. Presentation's everything sometimes, man. I really think so. Okay, is it sliding down on here too? I feel like it might be. Something changed there. Yeah, it might be sliding on here too. Being a cheapo, he doesn't want to take off a $2 jig head and retire it. He's trying to pinch every penny he can out of it. That's right, he is being a cheapo. Yeah, okay, we gotta take it off. Yep, it's the collar slipping now. There's not much I could do about that, right here at least. So, probably better off taking that off altogether. It just keeps sliding. Maybe I could rig it like that if it sits there. I'm so being such a freaking diva. Would you do the exact same thing I'm doing? Let me know. Try to like get it to re-hook in a new spot so I don't have to throw it away. I think I got it. Now it shouldn't slide, right? I cinched it down to where the hook section is on the jig head. Let's see if that works. Seems like it works. Hey, black grouper. Oh, he's got a leader in his mouth. Somebody lose him? Well, sucks. Least I can do is cut that leader now. Sorry, dude. I'm just trying to help you out here. Okay. It's monofilament. It ain't me. It's definitely mono. Actually, I kind of like mono. I have no queries against mono. But yeah, it sucks. There's grouper. A lot of fish can survive, in time with that, but it's just, it's a cruel life to be stuck with that leader hanging out. Wind's still cooking pretty good. I swear I didn't want to fish the bridge all day. Truly swear. I feel like I could catch a big mangrove on a Zoom fluke, man. Don't feel like I'm asking the impossible to do that. We're right back where we started, more or less. Got more grass too. The wind's definitely picking up. Laid out early for a few, but feels like it's cooking hard. The Zoom fluke ain't getting bit here. Presentation's pretty bad though. I'm in there. Nope. Didn't get a bite there. Now that should catch. It'd be crazy that won't catch. Maybe some scent's gonna help. I want to go back to the yellowjack piling, so at least we ain't getting any bites here, but I think we just got to figure out what they might want to eat. Didn't get any follows either. Seemed like I had less success throwing at this side, more on the other. And this back one, the one that's right behind me, that's got a little bit slower current. Wind's supposed to shift like really hard southeast tomorrow too, so I was expecting today to actually lay down as forecasted to be, you know, the calm before the next switch of weather. Missed him. Guys got their net out. Big mangrove, I think. It's the way to do it, though. Throw the lures to entertain the people, but if you really want to catch a limit for 3 people, put this goofy shit away. Get the meat and just get it done. To be fair though, he did stop, and I'm picking up a lot of this junk now too. Did stop catching snapper on the shrimp too until that big one there. So might be more about moving constantly than anything. Looks like a spinner shark out there on the flat. All right, last piling set. Then I'm gonna either change lures one more time, or we're gonna reevaluate all together. I think it's this tide is really not doing it right. Had a bite there, small. I'm just not getting in those zones long enough, the right way now. Okay. Leading to the suspicion the problem is this now. So let's take that off. I'm gonna go back to the Could be condition related though. But yeah, with that guy sliding like that. Might have to just retire that jig head. Good job. Great job. So there was 5 jig heads in there. Let's see how many we got left. 3, 4. Oh, we got them all. I was like, oh. Just assumed one of them was going to fall through his scupper hole there. Okay. Wind's picked up. It really has. Hey, I can't catch a break this year with Florida Keys wind. Still, we're having a great day because got some good quality fish, but I want to try new things. I really do, and you know, it might not happen. Okay. Using this Daiwa, Daiwa has this pretty inexpensive fluorocarbon. I like it a lot. Seems to tie knots nicely. Seems to do everything I like, and it's inexpensive. Okay, back to scrimpy scrimp. Let me try that comb through like I did on the first go, which was going up this way. These guys on the boat are hammering fish, man. I don't know what they're hammering. I can't get a perfect look, but they're hammering. They're not hammering beers like usually you see a boat out on the holiday weekend. They're actually doing holiday week, rather. I wouldn't say we're quite in the weekend yet. They are doing some they're catching fish pretty good, it looks like. Yeah, that wind picked up, but it seems easier to fish this direction. You're right. I'm right. Somebody's right. Getting my lure into that eddy a little quicker and longer, and that's where there's a couple fish. Just had a bite there, actually. It's all about conditions. All these bridge pilings are the same, honestly. Not like this exact all of them, but a lot of them all have fish. It's just how you're setting up to throw a lure at them. And bait is important too, right? How you set up to throw bait at them matters too. Oh, I missed one. And I bet a couple of spans that had jacks had snappers too, but jacks were definitely overwhelming. Uh-oh, I knew something was off. Felt like I had extra weight there for a second. Ah, 2 bites, missed both of them. All right, well then we'll do one more pass on the back sides of these, where we like how we picked up that last big snapper. So it definitely came down to that slower part of the tide, in my opinion, too. Now, this is harder. I feel like I need to find a really aggressive fish, then I can get another one. Like as I fly through this tube, I'm gonna invite a jack to bite, probably. Or just grab some grass. There's more grass too, so. All right, I'm always a fan of the starts and the ends of a tide. You know, mid tides are good in areas, but there are usually sometimes a lot of spots that are going to produce at a period of slower moving water. You know, if the current's too fast, they just won't produce later. Little Jack Crevalle. Go over the flat, my man. Have we hit 2 hours yet? Almost. Wow, I've been on this bridge for 2 hours. Time, that flew by, and to me, and probably not to you if you're watching, you're asleep. I'm curious how most people are watching this. Are you guys really mostly like watching it in the office in the background? Because the views are far more than they are on a regular edited video, which to me, I get it and I don't get it, right? I don't know if I'd want to spend that much time with somebody like me. You know, I'm a bursting ball of positive energy, right? This grouchy Yankee transplant. Nah, I'm not grouchy, man. I try not to be. I can be, but I'm usually trying to be positive about lots of things. But, yeah. So I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. I grew up in Brooklyn. Not the new Brooklyn, man. I do get triggered when somebody says, "Oh, you grew up in Williamsburg?" No. I'm from the Bay. Sheepshead Bay is where I grew up. Not very glorious out there, but yeah. And the journey from leaving Sheepshead Bay to North Carolina. Well, I think this is going to be a relatable story. I owned a small business. It was time to grow my small business, but the cost of doing business up there was too much. So, like a lot of people, I decided to say, I'm going to take this risk and leave the place that I grew up because I will be out of business. So, I think that was, years ago. Oops, let me see. Thought my microphone was screwed up. Years ago, when I just started YouTubing, and I was like, "Oh man, I might be able to make it as a business owner, right? I got a line of lures. I'm working to expand it, but the cost of doing business, honestly, was storage, and there was just a variety of reasons. But yeah, there was no way I was going to make it. I couldn't take a single business risk, right? I'd go bankrupt. And that's a terrible feeling to go bankrupt immediately. And there's too many jacks here. We're gonna keep going. And I know the jack's gonna bring. I'm amazed we haven't seen a shark with all these jacks today. Maybe my theory of the cold front pushing them back out is right. Because I've been catching a lot. I mean, a lot. So yeah, what was it? Yeah, things are too expensive. So if you're a young kid like me, like I was rather, still kind of young to some people, I get it. But how are we doing on that lens there? No, we're good. Final end of this story goes with, yeah. Too expensive. And boy, I'm glad I made that move, though. That was a very good decision on my end in life. Hmm. I haven't seen a shark. Now that I really think about it. Is that a fish or a coral? Coral. Stuff is cool looking. I don't know the technical term for that. If you do, tell me. I'd actually be interested in learning what that is. I just call it coral, but I'm sure it has a more specific name. Maybe it doesn't. Now these shallow pilings don't seem, these particular shallow pilings don't seem to have anything. At least right now. It's probably where I expect to lose a jig to a barracuda somewhere here. The shallower stuff, but yeah, no, it doesn't seem like it. Throwing my little scrimps. All right, one more. It's gonna be the last one, and then we're gonna see how it looks out there a little bit. Is that a triple tail? Oh, angelfish. Look at them. Wow, they're big. They're really big. I wonder if they'd eat, I won't eat my shrimp lure, I know that, but they're big angelfish, man. Probably like 4 pounds. I don't think you're supposed to eat the spade fish here. We're angelfish. I've heard they can have ciguatera, but man, they're big. Beautiful to look at. Wonder if they'd eat a tiny little gulp minnow. They ain't eating what I'm throwing right now. It's fun when you look down and the water's clear. Sometimes you just see all sorts of cool looking fish you never get to see. I'm always like, oh, what's that? What's that one? The angelfish are cool. They look like triple tail in the water. I thought it was turned sideways. If you don't fish here often, imagine seeing a 4-pound crappie just swimming around. That's what it looked like. Always throw like 3-inch gulps around here. You definitely get a lot of life doing that too. All right. I think we're done on this zone here. Got 3 really big snappers. Let me get them well buried in ice. And then we're gonna figure out what the next move is here. So, damn, it's a monster. What happens is that ice kind of there we go. I think it's hard to get your catch in there. I don't like that big cooler bag because I like to have the rod holders and I like having that weight distributed more evenly. It's not like I don't have room in there. This ice just like seems to have dramatic ice, man. Just like to have them pretty well buried, you know. It's hot out here. mean, it's not hot today, but sometimes it is. Okay. I'm a stickler for fresh fish. Maybe you never saw that side of me, how I get super meticulous. I want fish well iced, fresh. Oh man, it's kind of weird. So I guess you enjoy 4-hour uncut, watching lives be max neurotic. I'd be doing the brain spike thing if it wasn't, you know, so freaking uncomfortable on the kayak. Okay, so we fished the bridge for 2 hours. I'd hope to not fish it for another 2 hours. I'd like to fish somewhere else for the next 2 hours. Let's see. Hang on. That microphone keeps getting turned sideways. Let's go with my kayak. All right, let's see. I gotta make it happen. Gotta try to make it happen. So hang on. Let's head out there a little bit, see how it feels now. When I got started, I came over here. You know, it was pretty calm, but the waves seem to be rolling harder on themselves back there now, behind the bridge. Let's take a look, man. Let's cruise control, stretch your feet. So that's 2 hours of fishing with a Z-Man shrimp. Maybe that'll be a good thumbnail into this bridge. Let's wait till we get into the sun. It's the art of making a thumbnail with live Z fishing. Super complicated, right? Get it done now. All the ins and outs. That's how much time I put into my thumbnail. It's the most important part of YouTube. I just literally do it in 5 seconds. Oh man. Welcome to my burnout years. I wouldn't say I'm burnt out, but they're a little bit my, I don't know, maybe I should be paying better attention to some details, right? Okay, so we're out here now. This ain't that bad. It's not great, but it ain't that bad. Where was the channel? I'm guessing this boat's in it. Yeah, he's in it. I mean, it's rolling on itself. I think because it got a little bit of that wind against tide force. Yeah, let's go take a look, man. I'm sorry if this sucks. I really do, but I really am. But the point of these uncut videos too is, you know, we go learn together, see some new stuff, try it. And right now it's not rolling on itself, so I got my bro in the drone checking me out again. Drone bro. Yeah, and let's try it. If it's really rough, we'll turn around, but it seems like it's not too bad. The wind's coming from behind the bridge, so it gets that little bit of that roll coming off of it there. That current's ripping though, man. I don't know, maybe we need to rethink this. Woo! Alright. I haven't marked anything yet out here though. Sonar wise, it's really quiet. I don't like that when you're, you know, going up and down. I would call it basically kayak planing, you know, because the waves are really tight and the current's working against the wind right now. So let's hang out for a second. Let's get our feet up. All right. On the next big move, I'll power off the camera for a second. I gotta drink some water, take a whiz, all that stuff. But figured it'd be kind of interesting. Keep it together. I want to see how this wind feels out here. It's not bad. Current's fast. Wow, 1.5. Yeah, it's definitely a little strong to really go far though. I cut my finger on. Got my fingers are all jacked. I think it was that mangrove snapper sliced me. but no blood. What do we do here? We haven't had a bite. Haven't seen any life out here either. These two things are semi-concerning. Let me see if I can find this zone here that's got some depth that's not like tightly trying to roll on itself a little bit like this. So hang on. Let me power off for just 1 second. Okay, that took me a couple minutes. For some reason, the channel is flatter than the outskirts. So, I mean, it's not great, don't get me wrong, but I'm able to cruise through here. So let's go as far as we can until, you know, we feel like we're getting back into a lumpy zone. That's what I think I want to do here. Oh, and I'm marking a bunch of fish down here, but I want to start doing a couple long drifts and really exploring some stuff. Last year I had some nice luck with some really good sized yellowtails for inshore, and I caught a fish that it looked like a yellowtail and a lane snapper hybridized. It was very weird. I remember a couple of people pointed that out, like, this looks like nothing like a lane snap, and I was very confused when I caught it. But now I'm starting to get a little bit more of that rolly, planey stuff. This current's fast. We might have to come back here for the end of the tide, is the other thing I'm thinking. So I'm going 3 miles an hour. Tough decision, man. It's a lot of current in here. It's probably got some great fish too. But I don't know how effective I can be in here, but sucking in some grass too. My drive just dropped to 2.6. What's the decision, Elias? What's the decision here? I barely made any headway against that boat just now. All right, this current's ripping. Let's come back towards slack, I think. At least maybe when the wind lays down. See what the long drift does for us. See if we got any junk on our drive too. Oh yeah, we got plenty. That's why we were slowing down too. Okay, well, let's try it. See what happens. Oh man, these guys, I thought they were pulling anchor. They reset. Oh, they got it. They're pulling anchor, okay. Don't want to drift right through them. Yeah, bring on the long drift. I think that's what we're going to do right here. Just do a nice long drift, see what we get. A lot of structure here, this channel. SV drifting. 1 mile an hour drift, that's pretty good, speed-wise. I'll drift this back to the bridge. If it sucks, we'll go explore the other bridge pilings there's no boats on. But I'm hoping we'll get a couple bites out here. That felt like a grunty grunt hunt. Yep, little grunt. White grunt. Bet you there's some big yellowtails out here too. Charter boat left too. Everyone's leaving. Maybe the bite did slow down. We all experienced something similar, maybe. I don't know. 1, 2 boats leaving. Well, here's how a kayak has to do it. I'm stuck here. Stuck to this zone, rather. I can't go 5 miles and find new fish. I got to rethink and hopefully keep the bite going. Otherwise, we're going to lose my... everyone's going to leave. They're going to be like, oh, this is boring. I don't know what that was. I think these are grunts, man. Old gruntsons on top of my lures. Yeah, these are grunts. There's a certain bite those grunts have. The drift's not that fast, actually. We got, what, 0.1 mile an hour? 17 feet of water. 18 feet. I recall a couple ledges here too, but I do recall them being heavily shark heavy spots. Not really got any bites out here, honestly. If the conditions were better, I'd want to work this longer, for a long time though. Let me try getting up on the ledge part more, or at least the edges of this ledge. Because right now I'm kind of sitting in the channel, but I haven't seen life on here. I think I would have seen a bull shark on the bridge by now, but I didn't fish that deep, so we're guessing, man. We're guessing. Let's man up. Elias complains a lot, but Elias overthinks things. Like, I really overthink a lot of my fishing, and probably shouldn't have to. I'll probably just sit somewhere and catch a bunch of fish. That's why I said, that's why no one fishes with me. I just overthink. I'm so irritating to actually be on the water with, because I'm going to be like, oh, we go here, we go here, we go here. Oh, we got to move. We did this wrong. We did this right. You know, if you're like just a casual guy who wants to go fishing on your day off, it'll be really interesting. I think I'm going to fish almost the exact same way. Like one day when I'm done with YouTube, how will I go fishing? And I think I'm still going to be, I think I'm going to fish, spots that aren't, stressful, but I still think I'm going to be this helicopter angler of just like never settling into anything. Like, okay, move again. Okay, move again. I'll do this. Do that wrong. I think that's what's going to happen with me, no matter what, till the end of my days. Actually, I think it's getting a little less rolly as I get further away from this bridge, honestly. I feel like I'm liking how this feels more, but man, this channel's empty when it comes to in the fish department, man. I've seen nothing so far. Guess I'm less likely to bump into the taxman if it's empty though. $18 feet, 19 feet. All right, let's give this a go, man. There's got to be something somewhere here. Got to be something besides a grunt or two here. did catch a bunch of muttons when we started out, remember? If you remember quickly, and they were definitely somewhere here. Had a little bite right there. I think those are grunts again. Yeah, that ledge is... I think I found a ledge here. That ledge, one of the ledges here. There's a lot of these ledges, rather. Oh, jet skis, holiday weekend. It's coming. Holiday week, rather. Christmas is a couple days. Merry Christmas to everybody. If you celebrate it, including you guys on the jet skis. Remember one day I saw sharks just busting everywhere out on this flat. It was like, it was December. It was a warmer year, I remember. But I'll never forget that. Like, oh my gosh. That was a very sharky day, though. Last year I got sharked once out here on this particular spot. And I ended up going further away to avoid the sharks. But it was a lively day. This doesn't seem that lively right now. Things are quiet. I would rate them as quiet, rather. I got my paddle tails and stuff. You know, I'm getting grunt bites. Like these little bites I'm getting are mostly grunts, I think. But my sonar really hasn't shown me any fish. Like I'm gonna drift a channel that really doesn't have, like, you know, something visually a cue. I think this is when I start to pay attention to, okay, I'm marking something, I'm not marking something. Those sorts of things I pay a lot more attention to. This is a snapper, I think. And the mangroves today. That's it. This is Mega Mangrove Day. Mangrove number 4. Out in the channel. Another solid mangrove, man. You see that, guys? Mangroves. Mega mangroves. Come on. Okay, I guess that's how we're gonna do it. Thanks, dude. He opened that box of jigs back up. That box of jigs will never meant to be staying closed, honestly. I guess if guys are spearing fish on camera, me bleeding one out is not going to be the worst thing I could do, right? Maybe it is, I don't know. Alright, I don't want to show them off too much because I'm in a lot more current here and I want to get back on those fish. That fish was probably another 13 or 14 incher. Seems to be catching quite a few large mangrove snappers this year on lures. I don't know if they run in year classes, like every 3-4 years, they're kind of big, because I never limited it out on 13-inch plus mangroves in years past. Maybe I've become more of a panfish fisherman. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Those things, that's an interesting thing to talk about. Why am I catching big mangroves on lures this year? And other years I haven't. It's pretty lumpy, man. I gotta slow it down. Speed 4 gets you, let's see. So we got a pretty fast tide here. I think it's moving 1.5 miles an hour maybe, which is good. But if I had the speed to really not be dumping too hard into those waves, I'm only going 1.6 against this current right now. I'm gonna probably just, sometimes what I do is I alternate between fast and back slow, fast and back slow. Seems to be a good strategy. I don't know. I'm actually starting to think the sharks. My first theory is the sharks might not be a problem today. Like usually, I would have probably seen one by now. Especially with the quantity of jacks I was on earlier, and the lack of just sonar life. I usually see like giant marks out in these spots. Sometimes I'm like, where I'm like, just gulp, like, oh. There's one or two little marks down there. But sometimes you bring them in. You start hooking a lot of fish. They just show up out of nowhere. Alright, now I'm not too crazy about running away from here. Kind of want to keep working this then. We got that nice snapper there. So I think it's a 10 aggregate snapper per day. So one more mangrove, I'm on a limit of those. Honestly, I'm probably not even going to keep any more mangroves. The next fish I keep is probably, it might be a yellowtail or a mutton. That's it on the eating fish side of things here. Speaking of the mutton. Man, look how red his fins are. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. These are such pretty fish though, man. All these keys. I mean, the mangroves look a little more pale and less interesting, but these guys, the yellow jacks, the yellowtails, are all beautiful. Oh, pooped on me. Sorry, dude. Really are all super pretty fish. Old easy shrimp, man. I'm on the same shrimp so far today. Haven't had any toothy stuff, man. Haven't had a barracuda bite off, nothing like that. So here I'm just bouncing bottom, right? See, I switched to bouncing bottom because here I have a good clip of current, right? Was it 0.1 mile an hour here? It'd be faster if the tide wasn't ripping, but I'm definitely able to stay on bottom here. I'm just tapping that shrimp along the bottom, right? And this is kind of therapeutic in some ways, especially, if you can just sit here and chill out. But I'm occasionally looking at my fish finder to see if there's any rises in contour, because if there's a heavy rise in contour, I'm going to hang up here. Like right now, I might be in a zone where I'm going to get stuck. This right here is my bread and butter, to me personally. There's a bunch of yellow jacks here, I think. A bunch of marks on the sonar there. No, it's not that busy compared to usually out here though. Like usually there's a lot of stuff on the sonar here. Might be fouled up on the shrimp. This is why we didn't get a bite. Downfall of the thermoplastic, right? You set the hook, it wraps itself up. I'm a big fan today of the easy shrimp though, man. It's different strategies out here. Metal lures, bait. I mean, it all has its time and place, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. I really wish we had a test subject, like somebody fishing back there with bait only. And, I pull up to him at this point in my fishing trip, right? And be like, hey, what do you got? And, then we could say, oh, I got a limit of mangrove snappers and 3 keeper muttons. and, you know, a tarpon and a snook. And I'd be like, okay, I should have fished with bait. But when I'm out here alone goofing around like this, I got nobody to compare myself to, you know, like while we're on the water actively fishing, you know. You get skewed, man. Grunts. This is the guy who probably bites and then fouls me up every time. So like for example, I did that one video with gulp. I wouldn't fish gulp here for that reason. There's probably, I mean, a couple spots you could probably get away with it, but like where I'm sitting right now, I wouldn't fish gulp. There'd be 500 of those little grunts piling on the gulp because they really like that gulp stuff. So that's all. There's a lot of marks down there. I think I got these jacks under me now. Maybe not. This could have been mangroves or muttons. I had like a bunch of marks under me there for a second. What was that? Either a mangrove or a small mutton, maybe. I tangled myself up. Really good job, Elias. Put this new rod tip on here, and it does tend to foul up a bit. Wow. Yeah, we're going to take this drift back into the bridge, and then from there I'm thinking I'm going to work the columns again. It's just not that pleasant out here. Definitely like being a little bit more protected from the actual bridge for personal enjoyment reasons. Fancy grass right there. Looks like the regular. And then we'll see if that, you know, we'll be able to come back out here. We're not going to go too far. We're going to work a couple of the pilings we haven't worked yet. I don't know what forecast to trust for the Keys, man. Probably none. Because Windy had it laying down quite a bit more than it has so far. Was it Windfinder? Windfinder had it like glass, and then Fish Weather had it like 10 to 15 for the afternoon still. So 2 of them agreed, but I've had like Windy work out way better than the other models out here. So I don't know. I always recommend, like, I don't use NOAA or weather.com. I haven't looked at those in many years. It's really Windy, Windfinder, and Fish Weather. Then I just kind of look at them all. And there's a couple other apps that people seem to be, you know, happy with for this region too. Grunts, isn't it? Yeah, it's something different. Oh, that's something nice. It's probably just a jack, though. Another one, man. What is up with the mangroves today? That's crazy. Gosh, what a hammer. Almost got you. What is up with the mangroves today, man? This guy is almost 16. Dude, I'm good with you, man. Get back down there. I don't know, maybe I'll keep one more. I just want to wait till if I gut hook one. They don't seem like they're easy to gut hook. But goodness, man. How are we doing on that lens? We're good. Man, some good eats, though. Good eats. That one's actually good eats, yeah. Do they spawn this? I know, I fished here in December for years now. They're always around here. Missed that fish. Starting to think I'm marking snappers more than jacks out here today. These little muttons got big schools, man. We should do a drift. We're gonna drift this again. Wish it was calmer, but we're gonna do this drift again. There's a lot of fish here. I think these are all mutton snappers that are on the smaller side, but I'm gonna go to a bigger profile for this next drift after this one. We'll see if we can really pull up a nice big fish out of this. Whether it be a mutton, and even, you know, a 40-inch mangrove, like, no, I'm kidding. I don't know, people tell me you can catch some really big mangroves doing this stuff. It's a nice fish. It's another monster mangrove. This is jack finally. No, it's decent mutton actually. I mean, not big, but sorry. Oh man, these guys are hard to handle sometimes. Got him. Almost had it. Almost got him. Damn. Thank you. All right, let's try. Let's see what a bigger. Oh my God, we still have tons of fish under us here. We're gonna do this drift a couple times then. I think these are all small mangroves though. Oh, yellow jack. Oh, bar jack, okay. You saw there was a mutton following. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. That camera might not be low enough. A little mutton followed that bar jack in. It's a pretty busy drift, man, I'm not gonna lie. Like when you get a nice drift with some speed, you can just go up and down, up and down. I mean, you can cast if you want to right now, but I ain't gonna do it. All right, let's run up again, do that drift again. That was good. I'm not gonna tough it out here. And this little roll, it's so delicate. ISV fishing's a little delicate petunia these days. Oh, it's rolling. He's catching fish for a whole drift. Mangrove snappers and. Oh my gosh, it's so tough to be a ISV fishing. I'm being silly about it. Yeah, we gotta try one of my products, one drift. I'm sure it's gonna be more jacks though. But, you know, I do sell these. I'm only gonna do one drift on them though. I like this one, you know. Tough tugger, I do like when there's a lot more toothy fish. Paddle tail for muttons. So, really, this drift, if I'm going to use this big paddle tail, it's going to be to get a keeper size mutton is what's going through my brain here. And we're going to go a little bit slower on these drifts. What are we doing? 1.8. Yeah, they're not that. I don't got much speed for it, for having a comfortable ride at least. Should we speed it up a little bit? Nah. That was really cool though. That was a good drift. Another nice mangrove. So 2 short muttons and 1 bar jack or yellow jack. We still haven't seen a yellowtail today. I don't know if they're more sensitive to the cold than the mangroves and the muttons. Something tells me they might be. And the muttons, yeah, the muttons do like a cold sometimes too. All right, let's speed it up. I think there's like a certain area it does lay back down just a little bit. I do want to get a grouper. I feel like there could be a grouper here somewhere. My one Goliath hookup for the day. It's mandatory. It seems like it's mandatory this year. I actually used to never hook these Goliath groupers, and if you spend time researching all the forums and you're on the socials and listen to captains, those Goliath groupers are becoming as problematic to many people as sharks are. Like sharks are, you know, there's supposed to be some sharks, but bull shark situation, and you know, up in a lot of the East Coast, you know, a lot of guys that talk to commercial bluefin fish off Hatteras, they can't even bring you know, they have opportunities at yellowfin tuna. They can't even bring them to the boat most days. So that's why I'm kind of always sketched out. You know, I know there's times where I've seen, like, I've gotten shark 3-4 times in an hour here, but those times do happen less often than more. And you know, my rule is you get sharked once, you just have to move. It's like getting mugged by a boat. Just move. That's it. All right, it's your spot. I got it. I'm out. So, you know, it is what it is on that end. But I'm trying my best to change it up, right? Moving off the structure, and we're out here now. And I'm really working with what I have tied on here. And I've never been out there. There's so much stuff out here to just enjoy and see what's what. Probably snook spots that have never been. There's probably like snook on some of these islands and tarpon and hermit. I don't know. To be this, which I've done now a few times, is still so fresh and, you know, random to me that it doesn't feel old at all yet. And like just coming out here and jigging, you know, today it's got big mangroves. Some days it's had, you know, I have muttons. You know, I have a bunch of different fish in it. You know, and then probably one day I'll catch something I've never caught here jigging these channels. You know, I could see that it just probably never gets old in that regard. Really cool spots. Alrighty, I think I'll stop right about here. I remember last year I went out like another quarter or half mile out here, and it was just like, bam, fish every single cast. I was getting either a yellowtail, a mutton with a couple of keepers, and yellowjacks, like every cast. And I remember it was like flat calm. It was literally storybook perfect. I'm telling you about how it used to be, right? But last year, this year's the year of wind for me. But today's probably the nicest day I've gotten to fish in about a week, and it's not even, you know, that nice, I guess. It's still pretty nice though. All right, let's see who eats the tough tugger. I think those grunts are going to stay off this guy though, so that's one good thing. Check our drag too. Yeah. Had a bite. I bet it fouled up. No, it didn't foul up. Get a bite, you got to check these thermoplastics pretty often though. I think today I would have gotten away without using you know, I could have used probably a regular shrimp lure too. There's a little tick from a grunt. Regular plastics, the big thing is too, it's a lot easier to tell when you're doing these jigging motions. If it wraps around the tip of your hook, you could tell right away. The thermoplastic, sometimes you can. I find I'm not always able to tell if I really wrapped up my hook around the jig head. It's going to be interesting to see if we catch anything with this altogether, or if it just changes what we catch right away. Like we're going to just catch maybe like a short grouper and jacks only on the paddle tail. It did change the position of the drift this time, though, I'm noticing. Grunt. Be a good spot to jig metal lures right here too. Those slow pitch jigs, little ones, micro jigs, probably do really well right here. Had 2-3 bites, 4 bites. Sure you saw that one. That one I think fouled it up. He definitely pulled on the tail. I guess not. 5 bites. I feel like I got fouled up finally though. Oh, no, I didn't. Not until the end at least there. 5 bites on that drift. I mean, that chunk of the drift, rather. Six bites. I think I got a lot of fish just piling onto that tail. Missed him. There's a nice bite there. Jacks, right? Oh, the worst ones. The crevalles. Little guys, huh? That's who I think I had 100 bites from these guys. Exaggerating, but I definitely had quite a few bites from those. Wind's picking up again. This drift I haven't marked anything really though. Last drift I had a lot of marks from small snappers, I think. This one has been pretty quiet. I'm gonna do this differently. I'm gonna try to get out of this zone right there. Roll this jig off the ledge there. I feel like those small jacks were still down there. Small muttons probably too. I'm gonna have a hard time getting hooked up with this. It's different with that lure. I feel like the shrimp profile is what we need for here. I think we're going for one good bite with this paddle tail if anything's going to happen out of it. That's it. We ain't going for quantity of bites. I feel like I got like a bunch of those, either the smaller muttons hitting this. So not catching them every. It's fun when you're using a profile that's too big for the fish down there, though, for the most part. At least the fish that want to eat, like they're just like dunk 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 dunk. This drift was off a little bit too. Definitely fouled up by now. I should have checked this a while ago. No, I'm not. I thought it was. I think that was a fish. Alright, that was a slow drift. Just one jack on that one. Did end up a lot shallower on that drift than the first drift. I ended up in 18 feet for most of this. This one I ended up in 13 feet. But it's always worth seeing both sides of a ledge. I feel like it's getting rollier. A little bit. Yeah, it's definitely starting to roll a little bit more near the bridge. Okay. Well, I guess it didn't hurt to try something bigger. See what would happen. Only thing I really do catch on this tugger is the jacks. So far it's what, 2 keeper muttons and Goliaths, so it's not like I did get a big Spanish mackerel, I forgot, so I don't expect to catch too much of like the silly stuff. All right, like you put this on, I'm really hoping I'm going to get a really good quality fish in the mix here. Like that might have been while it was all twisted up. Felt like it was a decent fish. I feel like even the yellow jacks, this lure might be a little too big for them. We'll finish it out. Let's finish this drift out with the tugger. See what happens. See what happens. It is getting rougher at the bridge. It definitely is. Like, I mean the other side of the bridge. This is like the worst part of the 4-hour trip is like, you're right, the unedited trip. It's like the part of the day I decide to experiment a little bit and try a couple different things. That's like, yeah, oh, this is where it gets boring. Like, I'm not repeating the formula for success at this point. Like, okay, I did that, caught some fish on the shrimp lures. Now I want to either A, try to catch something different or just see a new area for the day. Yeah, and that's where you hit the point where it's like, all right, it's kind of boring, bro. It's because that's how fishing sometimes goes for me. But I'm going to go back to the formula of success in a second here. Is hanging out next to the bridge pilings. I'm actually, as I'm getting close to the bridge, I'm not even getting bites anymore. I had like a couple, but like I was getting a lot of like those jacks, and I think the small muttons were hitting the tail. As I'm getting into this zone now, the bites really stop. We'll see. As we get to the end here. I'm also wrapping my tip up more. Current's fast here, man. I'm doing 1.3 against with wind against tide. So it definitely picks up here. Yeah, it was just a little stretch there where there was some fish on the sonar. Everything else here has been kind of quiet. Not seeing it like earlier. What do we do? What do we do? What do we try to do that's different? I'm not too sure. I think I got a couple jacks trying to eat my jig right now. It's definitely got lumpier. Lumpty Dumpty. Getting those grunt bites again, though. That's where I'm getting. This feels like a strike zone right here, though, for something. I got the current starting to bounce a little bit, changing some stuff. Definitely be surprised we don't pick up a jack somewhere here. Wow. Probably watching this thinking, I'll never buy a pack of these tough tuggers, man. What kind of crap is he fishing with, man? He's trying to catch a big fish now. I'm trying. I'm still getting all the little fish to bite. Like that. Try the next drift down, shall we? It's corrupt weather forecast. Oh, that was a nice little gully or trench right there. Actually, I really like the way that looked. I also want to feel fishing relative comfort. Yeah, I hook a nice fish and I gotta go on the other side here. It's gonna suck. Okay, let's keep going. Let's get out of this deeper water where it's, real sloppy right now. Get into the shallower stuff. It'll probably mellow out a bunch again. Ooh, it's squirrely here. Squirrels. The squirrels are up. Okay. Glad I didn't go off the beach. I was debating this morning to either try off the beach or fish this bridge. I was like, oh, if it's really nice, I'd rather be off the beach. But glad that forecast didn't stick like I thought it might. Looks like there's a few fish here. Some jacks following that jig in. Now, this is falling apart. This is good condition to catch a grouper here, though, if I really want to, but I think I'm okay on that. What we'll do, I've never worked the outsides of these. Seems like there's definitely a nice hump on all of them, so let's work that. I know I'll catch jacks and probably a couple more snappers. This deeper water, I'm also more likely to see a shark. So, been there, done that. This trip already 2 times, so I'm good. Let me try to catch nothing out here instead. That's what I'm thinking. There's a lot of stuff I haven't seen yet, so I wanna. We had great fishing, right? We got a limit of big mangrove snappers, right? For lures. Let's go try to see something else quick. Yeah, let's see if there's anything out here somewhere. I like these trenches that get set up here. Maybe they're not as fishy as I'm hoping. I feel like a couple predators would hang out over here too. Maybe it's just grunt though. My man, the grunt. Getting no bites on this, man. All right, let's go back to the shrimp. Last cast with this guy. Stick to the smaller stuff then. Day's not over though. We might get another shot to do something out here before we know it. So right now, the other reason it's kind of rough, this is what's called wind against tide, right? Tide's going this way, wind's hitting it too. So if I manage to stay out here for the switch, which I don't think is happening today, I'm gonna have this tide till it's time to go, but it also makes a pretty big difference. Let's go cruise somewhere where there's a little bit less current. So if I find less current, it's probably gonna be less rough, well, or swelly rather. This ain't the day for the tugger. Trust me, you know I'd be, if I thought it was gonna be the right call to start with, I'd be using it. Going subtle is going to make more sense today. I ain't surrounded by 500 lane snapper today. That's when, you know, that spot, big paddle tail is good. You know, it depends on the spots, right? That's really it at the end of the day. Gotta go making excuses why I can't catch fish on my lures. I think there's a little bit less current out here. It feels a little nicer actually already. Yeah, this does feel nicer. Pop, pop, pop. What's there? Come on. Nothing in that trench either, though. I think I'll keep my next mangrove, though. I feel like these conditions have definitely deteriorated in the last 10-20 minutes. If I get another mangrove, rather. Current's moving hard. Wish I had another interesting play. It's really going through my head now. What is another fun little play to do here? Besides, you know, accept our fate. Accept our fate catching grunts for the rest of the day. Yeah, because earlier I was able to sneak on the other side and not really be, you know, tossed around much. Now, I don't know, man. It looks like if I go out on the other side, it's going to get gnarly for me quickly. It's got to be something else that's going to be fun and out of the wind and enjoyable to kind of snoop around on. I guess this is why everybody left too, though. Earlier, I got a giant on here. What is it? Oh, it's the slippery. I think that's some kind of wrasse. I forgot the name of this guy. Oh no, dude! Sorry. There you go. Giant catches are coming in now. Good thing I went back to the shrimp. Wow. Yeah, good thing I got down here as early as I did, because it was like really thought this forecast was going to fall apart. Improve, not fall apart like this. I feel like Keys weather, I don't know. I gotta learn how to understand it. It's nothing like the Carolina stuff. This one did not drop out, as I saw for, yes, today it was supposed to. On the contrary, it definitely picked up a bunch. Where it gets hard to really get your jig down, get a bite when you're really getting tossed around between wind and current. I think I'm going to be very happy if I get another mangrove here. What else can we do, guys? What else can we do? We could try for a barracuda on the flats. I mean, lots of flats I haven't seen yet. Especially if I start tucking around the islands a little bit more, it'll probably get pretty nice over there. Something like this. Good. Let's rethink what to do here, fellas. This got unfishable on me, actually. More borderline unfishable. Amazing thing how nice it started out, right? I know there's another channel over there. Got a little bit of smudge here. I'm pretty sure there's one more channel out there right now, out that way. Camera doing good? Everything's good? Yeah. There's some flats and stuff. This is where I don't have much confidence. Where's this other channel? There's one last channel. Okay, it's around the key here. Tough decision, man. So you got this grass flat, having all this water wash over it. Looks like a good speckled trout spot. All right, I think we'll try throwing a topwater or two here. That's what I think we should try. I'm definitely digging in deep into what to do next. Territory. Besides getting a nice big tangle behind me there. Lots of toothy bites, to see them all. Okay. And then there's, like I said, there is one more channel up there. So, what should we throw here? There's gonna be some big barracuda. That'll be fun. If there is. I don't know. I know it's a lot calmer up shallow already though. I'm in 5 feet here. Oh man, we did a bad job trying to tie up that knot there. Oh man. Falling apart, man. Falling apart. I felt like I had it. I had all the entertaining. Look at this. Can't even tie a knot while cruising around in the kayak with a falling sea and wind on his back. You probably could have tied 4 uni knots by now, sitting on the couch. If that's what you're doing. Maybe you're watching this at a doctor's office. I wonder where that question's going to be really interesting though. I was like, where do a lot of people end up watching these longer videos I'm doing? Are you watching like a doctor's office? Like, probably like my wife. She's, I ask her, I'm like, I think I understand why 4-hour videos do well. It's somebody like waiting at an airport. Okay, this is really I think it's a Smack It striper topwater. Maybe even the Smack It knockoff. I don't remember. But since we are targeting the barracuda, first thing we got to do definitely is wash our barbs. Didn't help the other day with that mutton snapper. Boom and boom. And then we got this one right here. This just makes it a lot easier to release fish. I mean, it's not always perfect, but usually you can crush them down pretty good. Especially if I'm fishing for something I'm not too concerned about if I drop them. I do like catching barracuda. They're highly underrated, but they might not even be here. I don't know. I haven't seen too many this winter yet. Fall, late fall, whatever you want to call it. Imagine they'd be on these keys somewhere here. But it seems like you need bait for them. Like there's no bait on whatever flat you're fishing. Well, there's a little barracuda. I did have a follow. Okay. Can't even see where my top water is in the glare right now. I think they'd be right on the edge of the real flat there, though. You know, kind of like how a speckled trout sets up. Maybe not. It's like current washing over, and I just assume that's where a barracuda would be. Well, we did see that one that followed in. It's kind of on the smaller side. Believe it or not, my success with barracuda here is kind of inconsistent. I'm gonna move on to the next option. I have no confidence. I just saw one smaller barracuda follow that lure in. Let's make our next move then. I see there's another channel here around the corner of this key, so let's try it. I've never fished it before either, so. Not seeing much out here. I mean, I know there might be some bonefish up on the flats there. I don't know, but I don't think they like it when it's cold either, right? You get those cold fronts. I don't think they're into it all that much either. There's got to be a barracuda somewhere there. Like, I'm looking at this, where this water rushing over this sandbar. There's got to be a couple fish to eat at topwater here. Wow. Really thought I'd see one there. I mean, the barracudas are on the keys usually too, like the Key Islands quite often too, but you know, I don't know how they use, like that would be a spot a red drum would set up on, you know, so I'm like kind of not as used to reading for barracudas on the flats necessarily, like, because a lot of my barracudas I typically catch are, you know, big, and they're over some deeper water, 5-6 feet, or they're wreck barracuda, right? Like this barracuda world to me is very foreign, stranger in a strange land kind of deal. Alrighty, next stop. So the next drop's going to be, there's a channel here. I'm hoping this one's going to be a little milder. If I see it's white capping out there, even, wow, on this side. Surveying the area, and then of course smack those pedals. Yeah, it's roughish. It's not by the bridge itself. You see if it maybe around the key it's not, because like I think that's the next channel right there, and it's rolling over hard. Don't want anything to do with that. Don't believe weather forecasts. Rule number 1. All things considered, though, that's a great day, even with a lousy weather forecast. Oh man, this looks good up here. Bet you I'm gonna run over a permit or something like a dummy. I've never fished these islands much, man. I've come up to these keys a bunch of times, and I've always kind of just like caught 1 or 2 small fish and left. But I never really like said, I'm gonna fish keys all day. Why is there not a barracuda laid up here? I don't understand this. I feel like there should be 100 barracuda here. There's no bait. I don't know. Hey, that could be a big reason why there's no barracuda on this island. The fun barge, I like it. I think I had something following. It looked like a needlefish. And if I can't catch a barracuda there, I'm giving up on this immediately. Like, how can there not be a barracuda in that zone? Slack water. No way. I'm working it too slow. I give up. I give up on this one. Somebody help me. Elias needs help. He can't catch a barracuda. I can't catch a barracuda. Nope, I need help. Send help. Just make a couple casts with the shrimp lure there. Some deeper water right here, it seems like, in current. I don't know what would be here, but the next channel's right there. Okay, let's hit this next channel. I don't know what could be in here, if anything at all. Wow, what a start, right? You know, I thought I was going to have a great afternoon to go explore and work the bridge pilings for the next couple of hours, but it definitely didn't hold up. No way. And yeah. And I'm not seeing anything on the flats. So, me and my stinky shrimp are going to keep going for it. Okay. And this channel, I don't know. I think this one's shallower. That's not necessarily the end of the world, right? A shallower channel is not really. Yeah, there could still be good fish in a shallow channel. I think this channel's probably about 10 feet mostly. But still have muttons and mangroves and jacks and sharks. I have lots of sharks. There's the drop off. Oh no. Yeah, there it is. Nope, not yet. Definitely chunky, as in like a lot of different contour there. Now it's really dropping off. Let me start making a couple casts here. We'll have to feel this out, see what's what here. There's something there, I think. That could have been grass, but I think I had a bite there. These channels are fun, man. They're really like lively. They're really just a blast to fish in all of these Keys channels because they definitely do tend to have a lot of fish. Some of them are different than others. You know, some might have more jacks, others might have more, you know, the other snappers, etc. Some of these smaller ones probably just don't get fished much either. This one's really got a lot of grass though, I'm noticing. Okay. It's the next channel. This one's shallow, but it's got current, so that's all you need sometimes, right? Current can definitely outweigh the need for structure. At least I think so. Structure is always nice, but current's more important. This current moves here. All right. Is it a grunt hunt? Small mangrove. Oh, mutton. Right there. We had a mutton our first cast, and now we can't get another bite. Marking a couple fish though. Where's the zone here? Oh, there we go. Grunts showed up. That sandbar in this deep water. Yeah, there's got to be a couple decent fish here. Should find jacks here if anything, right? Hold them. Pulled him too. Not that one. Oh my gosh, keep pulling them. Jacks probably. Oh, a small yellowtail. Pretty small. That other channel sometimes has some big ones, but honestly I don't have the conditions to mess with it too much. First yellowtail of the day. Just sitting outside kind of that rollier water. I'm able to sit here pretty nicely at least. Cast with the wind. Two nice things going for me there. Wish I was able to get a couple more bites though. Okay. Yellowtail snappers. There's gotta be a few more of those. Let's figure out what this channel's contour actually looks like. Oh, it's pretty deep. I mean, relatively speaking, I'd say. $10 feet, 11 feet. Yeah, it feels like it should work for a decent fish, maybe one or two. It's hard to evaluate this stuff sometimes. That's 10. Two bites, missed them both. Pop, pop, pause. I'm feeling this out, so I'm kind of confused, right? I don't know exactly what I might find here, if anything. Bad cast. Finger slip there. Getting a lot of smaller bites in this one. What happened here? How did I tangle myself? Switch that rod tip from... Nice. Now I'm tangled. Had a fish on and a tangled combination. Oh, what a mess I have here. Yeah, okay, I gotta open my bail first. Tangled with a fish on, I think. Let's see if I can fix this. I don't know what I did here, man. All I know is let's hand line this up. No idea what happened there. Oh my gosh, I have this much line out here. Broke the tip on this rod, and now I'm using. Last week I was using. I'm changing it every week because, you know, not ideal. Let's see. I think I can pull it through at least. All right. Let me just reel this in, and fix my mess. Whew. All right, I'm gonna retire this. I don't want to lose all this line. I guess I got this the point where you're just like, this guy sucks. What did he do? What did he do to have his Vanford blow up like that? The rod tip. Change the rod tip, and then the final problem was that wrap around the tip there. Okay, so we took that off. Sleazy shrimp. Let's get it back on. Notice how my day broke down the minute the wind choked up, right? I'm blaming it on the wind. Ugh. All right, there's got to be a couple fish here somewhere, like some kind of structure, something like that. Hey, it's pretty deep in this hole. 12 feet. $14 feet. Oh man, what? Oh man, 15 feet. We got some chunky stuff here, man. $15-foot hole's always got something, right? All right, let's see. I think we're good now. We're factory original tip on this rod. There's a bunch of fish in this hole. Let's see what they are. They're nothing big, apparently. I give up. There was a bunch of fish in there they didn't eat. Ooh, that one ate. Get that plug out of the way after this guy. Yellow jack. Nice, it's not a bad one. Okay. Plan D. D as in dog. Smaller channels can sometimes be more manageable. That's why I fish all those little bridges all the time, so you don't have to deal with this stuff. Lens is good. Old jack hole it's going to be for the day. You never know, these small channels can always have a surprise. It's easy to get discouraged that you're not in the big glorious water sometimes, I get it, but I think a spot like this can still throw a surprise at you. Yeah. Can also throw a giant shark at me too. Oh, it's a grunt. Grunts. That's the hero we want, the hero we need. Got that braided line wrapping around me now. We try to make a longer drift through here. All right, hang on. I feel like I'm just scratching the surface. So I know there's a deep hole there. Maybe there's a couple more up here. And if there's a couple, I can like just do a nice long drift through them, see what has what in it. This one's probably got a couple jacks in it. Let's see what the next one has. Definitely a chance at a nice snapper in one of these, if there's a few of these holes. That one wasn't very large though, it was definitely a smaller chunk of structure. Now I'm gonna do a larger approach to that zone then. Apparently cut myself on something, I don't know what. This highly salty water will help. Woo, that burns. Okay. This is a pretty good channel. Okay, that's the end of it there. Okay. It's tight though, wow. Yeah. Get really down the pipe on this one. But I think if you could line up your drift properly, you might be able to pull something off here. Had crazier things happen, fellas. Had crazier things happen here. Wind against tide. It's a struggle. It's ripping though. Man, this thing is not letting me settle into anything. I'm trying to get deep and it just shoves me right back into the shallower stuff. Okay, I learned the lay of the land. I think I got into a deeper drift here. Let's see what happens. 13 feet. We're definitely in the gully of current right here. Oh, that was a great bite. There he is. There. All jacks in here? Yeah. So far. Got my braided line wrapped around nice from the before. This is what you get for being so stingy, Elias. It's this stingy guy right now. Man, you see me being frugal on the water, you're like, what the heck? That's it, I cut it. I'm cutting my losses there and there. Yeah, that's a nice deep cut. I'm gonna keep doing a couple drifts here. Let me get this done properly instead of how I just did it. Guggen is strong with this one. I think we finally figured that out. Let's see how many yellow jacks are in this hole. Looks like 1 million down there. Gosh, the current just goes bloop, spits you out. Getting my drift right here is like, I can see why a boat would never fish this, because this is hard as heck to do on a kayak even. Nope, I can't get in there. There we go. Got something on the end there. Foul hook to grunt. Real classy. Well done. All right, let's see if we can properly structure this drift, man. If I can really figure it out. I don't know how. Love them out of contour. Let me see. All right, well, as I re-rig this shrimp for the 900th time, let's see, so this hole is deep as heck. How much further up does it run? Maybe I can map out the channel. Not much more, really. It might bend a little bit, you know. This one's gonna be tough, but I do want to see if there's something really cool here. Okay, so know how to follow some tracks. All right, well, that's what I got for now. For this drift, at least. There's definitely a big mutton somewhere here. I would think so. Feels like it should have one. Test them. What is it? Little mangrove. Nothing like the size of the other area we were in, but there's only a bunch of fish in here at least. Man, that wind's really making this harder and harder and harder. Deep holes out here. I can see bottom now. I can definitely tell there's lots of humps and chunks taken out of this area. What's in the 20-foot hole? Bite there. I feel like there's definitely a couple Goliaths in here. A lot of bites. Missed every single one. Okay, let's try it again. See if we can get our drift kind of correct there though. This has been tough now. Yeah, we fouled up there. Let me try something different here. Hang on. I feel like I'm getting a lot of small bites here, and they're really fouling this up before I even get a good chance to keep that in the zone. Let's see what else we have here. The tightness of our fishing has fallen apart a little bit. I don't know if you noticed. Like, I think I started off, pretty concise today, but last hour and a half, I feel like I'm falling apart. Come on. But these jig heads suck. They're from Academy Sports. They looked awesome when I picked them up. Had rattles in them, all this stuff, but no good. All right, here we go. I feel like that's the profile. You just tight, quick, short, gets down to the point down there. And I think I want to do on this drift is try to cast. See if I can find where since this seems so tight and narrow, I want to see if I can cast into it and work the jig out properly. I feel like vertical jigging, yeah, I think if this drift was not a mess with the wind against tide, I can probably get down there and hold on to a couple bites, but right now it's so messy. So I think I want to try to see what I can do here. If I can find the zone where the current's just moving real slow, I can probably even get a better presentation casting into that deep cut instead of trying to jig it, but we'll see what happens here. It's rough as shit. Alright, well, let's start with this, see what happens. Not a bite out here. It's really around those holes over there. Definitely nobody here. Can give us another 10 minutes and wrap it up, I think. Let me see if I can find anything new or anything with a fish or two. I think the reason that other rod tip wrapped up, even though it's not the original one, it's the wind that really kicked up, I think, started whipping it around there. So, because these Jigging World custom rods, they have a very small tip for their wings aren't very wide to wrap up when you're jigging like this. Not like that. That was pretty bad. But got to get one of these tips. So grabbing whatever, you buy a rod tip, it's not what you need sometimes. A rod tip isn't a rod tip. They're all kind of different. Anyway, all right, let's see what we got here. Doing a longer drift again. This got boring, I know. I'm just learning this new stuff. Found some new bottom to kind of work through, and it might all be jacks, I get it. But you never know. Anywhere where you get a lot of current funneling through, and it's got structure too, oh man, it's got fish. No matter where. All right, who's that? Grunts. A lot of grunts on this part of this area, this zone here. Okay, out of the grunts. I think a tarpon or two would be in here too. This does look like more of a tarpon zone. Tight channel like this. Oh, missed him. Grunt. Grunts in there. I think I'm going to beat these grunts. I think that's what's all up in this hole. Lots and lots of grunts. Yeah. Any other bright ideas? Metal jig's gonna catch those grunts too. It's just hoping you get through them, catch something else. Whew, man, we got our work cut out for us to get something out of this hole. I feel like he's there. It's just not gonna happen on the fluke, maybe. Or maybe it will. Just enough persistence. Tough, right? I feel like it is. All grunts, man. All right, let's try one last drift. What should we try here? Getting our grunts destroying that. Do we try the shrimp one again? All right, I think I did all I can there anyway. Probably. Here's how we're gonna end it. Besides saying thank you for watching. Thanks for being a part of another unedited video. I've got links in the video's description, everything you use, the shrimps, rods, reels. I'm gonna fish for an hour personal time. And if we see anything real nice, let's power on a camera. But thank you guys. Next one.